Anime Boston is finally going to have an actual convention after canceling for 2020 due to the great lockdowns of 2020 and 2021. And they actually canceled again due to the lockdowns again for 2021. On 2020, they had a virtual, glorified live stream convention, which in my opinion, only barely 10% of the convention attendee base attended. Now in 2022, they're finally planning for an in-person convention, but unfortunately, it's going to be COVID woke, as ordered by the as ordered by the government, as ordered by the city government, and also by the convention center itself. They actually have an authority. Now, Boston actually has an authority for conventions. A governmental authority known as the Events and Conventions Authority, whatever. I don't know the Google name. I don't know it. Google it or whatever. But seriously, Anime Boston promised in their Twitter feed on the date of the 2021 convention, where they should have been having a 2021 convention, that they're going to make up for the lost years. And this is how they're going to make up for the lost years: a mask mandate and a vaccine mandate. And as predicted from previous conventions that announced these mandates, once they announce said mandate, they're not going to actually relax it or get rid of it altogether. For panels, they just wiped the slate clean for 2022. You have to reapply for them. Community role, which the role is basically the role of community events and other conventions and whatnot for the anime convention scene and for the anime community. You have to reapply for that. For Arts Alley, you don't need to reapply. You're going to keep your weight for 2020. Press, you're going to have to reapply. Every last one of them. And they're actually getting rid of the 2020 vendor voucher. The vendor voucher to that's supposed to be make up for it if there's any increase of it. If there's any increase of the membership fee, you get a voucher equivalent for the amount of the amount as a thank you gift for pre-registering or keeping your pre-registering membership, because they're going to be checking out the rates, and they're not telling us why. They're not going to tell us why. I mean, they did tell us why, but they're not going to tell us how. But they've mentioned that the prices, the expenses of the convention, and how the world has been the last 18 months have changed. And the real reason is inflation and additional costs to make it Coronachanwoke. And this is also due to the knock-on effects of the government response to the great hysteria. The good news is that they're going to have a single day registration. Basically, because most people are just going to come in on Saturday, get their Arts Alley stuff, get the deals hall stuff, hang around for Saturday here and there, and just flock off. They're not going to come on Friday or Sunday, as per what happened during Otakon. Saturday was the most active day. Friday and Sunday, they had a lot less attendance. Now the real issue is that Anime Boston is going to face the same situation as in TECO, which is Pittsburgh's anime convention. And there are people from Steel City Con. Believe it or not, there are people from rural areas surrounding Pittsburgh that do go to TECOCon, that go to Steel City Comic Con. And another Comic Con that is outside of Pittsburgh. Both of them are back to normal. Steel City Comic Con and the other Comic Con that's outside Pittsburgh city limits. And a lot of them are not going to attend TECOCon with this vaccine mandate. No, 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 no. Because they want normalcy. And here's the problem with that. The people who actually support the vaccine mandates don't actually care about people from rural areas. Now, anime conventions are supposed to be one of the main cultural and economic events that unites people, similar to music festivals, cultural festivals. But with the hysteria still rampant over Coronachan, the attendee base in Boston actually wants this vaccine mandate. Primarily because they don't want people from rural areas to come to their anime convention, even if vaccinated. Because they know that urban visitors want to show their vaccine card as a way to virtue say how much they complied. And they enjoy the new dystopian normal. People in rural areas and out of state, even those that are vaccinated, will not going to come to these events because they don't want to give their private information to anyone else other than their doctor. And the worst thing is that people who support these vaccine mandates are those who actually support social discrimination. Because of the vaccine mandates, because of the hysteria around Coronachan and the lockdowns, social discrimination is perfectly legal and normalized. A lot of these anime conventions claim diversity, yet through these policies and the attendee base in urban areas, they're actually excluding people who can't wear a mask due to medical reasons or due to disability reasons. And at the Anime Boston social Facebook page, they're actually in questioning and interrogating people who openly admit that they cannot wear a mask or they cannot be vaccinated due to medical or allergic reasons. And they're pressuring them, why you can't wear one anyway? Why can't you get vaccinated anyway? And they're telling them you should not be going anyway. This has the end result of reducing your attendee base, especially in the Black and Hispanic community, and especially those in the rural areas, rural and suburban areas, including children. With the vaccine mandates, children under the age of 12 are excluded from life, except for school, and except for grocery buildings. And they'll be shocked and surprised, parents will be shocked and surprised when their children are barred because they can't get vaccinated or they can't medically get vaccinated. But the people who promote these vaccine mandates, they don't care. They just don't care. They don't care anymore. They just want more restrictions. They want more restrictions. They want more things taken from them as a way to feel safe. And the Commonwealth at Anime Boston are just going to cater to that small vocal base instead of the people that want normalcy. They want more things to make up for the lost years of 2020 and 2021. And of course, they have not announced any guests for Anime Boston 2022. And there won't be any international guests anytime soon for some of these major conventions. And the worst thing is that a lot of these people that used to go to Anime Boston are not going to come. We've always seen a split in the anime convention community. That people want normalcy. People that want normalcy are just going to go to conventions outside of the urban areas, if there are any. Or they're just going to do without and just going to retire until this hysteria ends completely. And seriously, why should I attend an anime convention that has a hysterical attendee base? And I bet all of them are vaccinated. And they're still wearing a mask as a virtue signal at this point. Seriously, I mean, if you are attending Anime Boston at this point, you're still planning to attend, unless you really have to go, like you're a panelist or you are a dealer's hall person, or you just need to get your shopping goods here and there. I will not attend this convention unless you really have to. It's because of the fact that convention commerce, most of them are not pushing back against these vaccine passports, and they're not really pushing for back to normal. At this point, only anime conventions and fan cons are just embracing this new dystopian normal. Only in the urban areas, rural conventions and suburban conventions, they are hell-bent on going back to normal. It's just the cities that are screwed. But seriously, the best is, if you're a consumer, the best way, unless you really have to go to these conventions, don't go. I would prefer you go to these conventions that are back to normal. Even if you have to fly out. At least it beats wearing a mask 14 hours a day. This J-Kid signing out. Hope you have a good morning or good evening where you are.